Hello, EO Nation. This is Ethan King, your marketing chair for Nerve 2025. And today we are joined by an absolute powerhouse in the art of communication and connection, Janine Driver. She's the CEO of the Body Language Institute, a New York Times bestselling author, and a former ATF investigator with over 16 years experience in federal law enforcement. Janine has trained top leaders from the FBI, the CIA, and Fortune 500 companies like Coca-Cola and Salesforce. Named the number one inspiration in the world's top 30 body language professionals. She's been featured on NBC's Today Show, CNN, and even shared the stage with comedy legends like Robin Williams and Chris Rock back in her stand-up days. At EO Nerve, she'll be delivering her dynamic workshop, You Say More Than You Think, giving you the tools to amp up your sales and team building game like never before. So buckle up. This is going to be extraordinary. Janine, how are you doing today?
Good. How's it going, Ethan? Nice to see you again, my friend.
Fantastic. Great to see you as
Are you
well.
amped up?
I am amped up and only
Good.
getting more and more amped up the closer we get to September for Nerve in Atlantic City. So, Janine, I've seen you speak before, but maybe some of our attendees haven't had the pleasure yet. So, give us a sneak peek of what to expect at your session during Nerve.
Hey, I'm an entrepreneur myself, so I get it. We're going to talk about in my session body language and words that have hidden meaning. So we're going to talk about four specific areas on body language. What does it indicate? What are you saying with others? What are others saying to you? And words that have some hidden meaning that most people don't know about. We're going to slide in a couple of those too. I'm working on a new book with potentially HarperCollins, and it's called 38 Words with Hidden Meaning That'll Change Your Life.
Oh.
And as an entrepreneur myself, and you, a listener at home or at your office, these words and these body language moves are game changers for us constantly. I'm an expert on court TV, and it's so funny because there's the JonBenet Ramsey case has resurfaced,
Mm.
and they had me on 2 days ago, and they're like, hey, this guy, they think this is the murderer. This guy confessed. He's saying he did it. I watched him for like 5 minutes. I'm like, yeah, that guy didn't do it. Well, how do I know that? It's the words that he was using and his body language. I'll give you a quick one is the strongest denial is the word no. So if I say, if you're, my employee, I say, hey, did you ever use the corporate card for personal use? And you say, what kind of person do you think I am? I'd have to be stupid to do something like that, Janine. I already signed the rules. I know that I signed a contract. I'd be dumb. Just ask my friends. They'll tell you I'm connected to the church. I have Bibles in my trunk. I give away Bibles to the homeless. All these are hot spots that someone's holding something back. The strongest denial is the word no. And so when this guy who's being suspected of this JonBenet Ramsey murder was asked by CBS News, hey, did you do it? Did you hurt her or harm her or kill her in any way? He immediately said no. Then he looked to the camera and said, no, I didn't. Even though that's not enough, that one little the strongest denial is a no, not a absolutely not. What kind of person you think I'd be? So I call these are nonverbal and verbal objections that you've never heard about before, but they're there. This is why you think you're walking out, signing on the dotted line, this new client, this new customer, and you get blindsided. Well, that's going to stop. So in my keynote, we're going to talk about it's up to 9 seconds, average about 7 seconds. Body language shows up before thought. So if I can teach you, Ethan, and you listener at home, entrepreneur, how to spot body language in these words with hidden meaning, you get a 7 to 9 second advantage. Do you think that's powerful?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You do want an advantage, don't you?
Oh, yeah. That's what we all
Yeah.
want. That's right.
Yeah, so how I do my presentations, Ethan, in Entrepreneur at Home is I talk about it. I talk a little bit about the science, if you want the science, which I usually give a splash. Then I show you politicians, entrepreneurs, business folks, athletes, celebrities. I show a series of people doing what we just talked about, and then you do it. You look at the person next to you and I say, if I asked you, Ethan, do you have 16 daughters?
No.
You would say no. But if I asked you, hey, have you ever taken money that didn't belong to you?
Yeah.
I like that. Right. So the person who says absolutely not, or what kind of person do you think I am, instead of a no. So I always say when you're asking someone a question and you're looking for that denial, verbally, we're looking for a no. You happen to give me a yes, which makes me like you even more. Listen, authenticity, Ethan, has been measured. We can measure the energy of authenticity.
Yeah.
And people who love each other, you and I say we fall in love or we live happily ever after. Love can be measured and authenticity can be measured. And authenticity is 40% stronger than love. So when I asked you, did you ever take money that didn't belong to you? We all have at the end of the day, if we go back to old school when we were kids,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, our parents lined us up, right? All the siblings, who took the
Right.
$20. You being authentic right there will build trust for people. So we can measure authenticity. So right now, entrepreneur, you are walking out of meetings with prospects or current clients or in your personal life, and you walk away saying something doesn't add up. There's something off here. The person's not authentic. I feel like they're holding something back. We're going to put language to what that is
Yeah.
with these 4 moves and these 4 words, and we're going to go really deep on them so you can have that 9-second advantage. Because we want an advantage as entrepreneurs, right?
That's great because you have that feeling and you're like, oh, something's off. You can you can
Yeah.
sense it, right? Or at least
Yes.
it's been my experience. So it'll be great to learn the science behind that and pick up on those words. I'm
Yes,
excited.
and it's interactive. It's fun. You're going to take a ton of notes. It's so funny because some people will like resist the note taking. They're like, yeah, I don't take notes at these things, And like 10 minutes in, they're like, I better get my notes open on my cell phone. I see them. I'm like, oh, look at, we've got converters here. Because I make it hopefully in a fun and playful way, easy enough to retain, to remember. I say, at the holidays, or even Halloween, the kids get these sticky things. You throw them, they're spiders, and you could throw them on your mirror or on your window or your front door.
Mhm.
And you might have 20 of those things. You get them from the Dollar Tree, and maybe 2 stick. My job at this event, Nerve, coming up in 2025, is to make sure everything I'm sharing with you is going to stick. So I use it in visually, auditory, kinesthetically. You're interactive. I have cheeky expressions. I use comedy to get those emotions and those hormones in your body to allow it to stick. Storytelling. I'm really excited. You're going to have an edge in life in 2025 and beyond when you learn these techniques.
It's something I remember from you spoke to us in EO Atlanta years ago, and I
Yeah.
remember you actually corrected the way I was sitting. Uh,
Stop it.
yeah, you did because I wasn't sitting in a very powerful way, and it'll still come back to me sometimes, and I'll find myself adjusting in my seat to sit with more power and authority, all because of
Okay.
what you taught me. And that was probably 8 years ago at least.
Stop
So
it.
yeah.
I love when I hear that. One woman, I was on Rachel Ray's show years ago, and this beautiful woman couldn't get a second date. And
Mm,
Rachel Ray hooked her up with 3 different guys, all smoking hot, right? All New Yorkers, all adorable. And she's adorable. And I went in and spied on her body language. And then all 3 men said they would never ask her out on a second date again. Because when she would laugh at this dinner, her nose would wrinkle, which is a micro expression of disgust, the nose wrinkling, but that was her natural laugh. But the
mm,
men seeing her with this nose wrinkle, their brain picks up on this because we have mirror neurons. I'm going to talk about that a little bit today. And they're like, oh, they don't want to have rejection. They're like, oh, she didn't like me, but she liked all 3. But
mm.
that little teeny micro expression, the nose wrinkles, the upper lip comes up, that move right there, we call it disgust. But what disgust means is repelling contaminated objects. It's,
Mhm.
I don't like you. I don't like what you're saying. I don't like your clothes. I don't like your cologne. I don't like your product. I don't like your service.
Hmm.
And I don't like your business. So if you can begin to spot these movements, you can either do something about it. Like for her, when she would laugh, that was still her laugh. She tried to curb it a little bit. Her name's Nicole. This was, by the way, like 15, 20 years ago.
Mm.
And she would then, if she laughed, said, oh, by the way, my nose wrinkles when I laugh. That's just my MO. I'm totally having a ball here tonight. I'm having fun. So because we're going to be authentically ourselves, it's going to come out. We have behavioral fingerprints.
Mhm.
And so how she fixed it, that little quick, I call them 7-second fixes, is just to say, hey, I just want to let you know I'm really enjoying our time together. And I laugh in a weird way. I found out about it from a Rachel Ray show. And then it's a cool conversation. She's now married and credits me for her wedding. her
Oh, that's
marriage.
life-changing. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we're still friends on social media. She goes, you know, I'm married and have kids because of you. You fixed my nose wrinkle situation.
That's a great story. So, Janine, tell us what are three things that every entrepreneur can do right now regarding your topic? Give us some action steps we can take.
All right, one, I'll give you, let's start with the verbal one, Ethan. The word just,
Mm,
just. If I said to you, Ethan, I call you up and I go, hey, I just left my house and I'm going to get to the restaurant 20 minutes early. Take your time. I got some work I can do when I get to the restaurant.
mm.
What do you think my hidden message is, Ethan? Yeah, an entrepreneur listening at home. So I'll repeat it. I just left my house. I'm early. I just left my house. I'm going to get there early, about 15, 20 minutes early. I've got work to do when I get to the restaurant. Take your time. I've got stuff I can do when I get there. What's my hidden message?
Well, what I'm hearing is, hey, I'm gonna be there, so get there a little bit sooner because I'm waiting on you.
Okay. So a third of my audience will say that,
Mm,
like, hey, I'm going to be there on time, if not sooner. So I hope you're on time. So some people, that's what I call the passive aggressive approach, right? I'm being passive aggressive here. Some people think, no, legit, Janine has work to do. No, legitimately, she's like, take your time because I got some calls I got to make, right? So I got to knock out some. So a third will think that. Uh, Another third will think miscellaneous information. But here's what I'm going to share with you. It could be those things. But the two words I want to talk about here, I was going to give you one, but I'll give you two, is I just left. The word I wanted to talk about is the word just.
mm,
Just is a minimizing word. I just called. I just got off the phone. I just want to ask you a couple questions.
mhm,
Just is a minimizing word. Some big corporations and companies have a rule that no emails, text messages, and phone calls can you use the word just. It
mm,
hurts your executive presence and your confidence. Instead of me calling you and saying, hey, Ethan, do you have just a minute? I want to ask you just a few questions. Instead, I said, do you have a minute? I'd like to ask you a few questions. Look at
mm,
the difference between these two.
mhm,
Hey, Ethan, do you have a minute? I want to ask you a quick question. Yeah,
mhm,
sure. What's up, Janine? Hey, do you have just a minute, Ethan? I want to ask you just a couple questions. It
mm,
hurts our executive presence. It makes us look like we lack confidence, and what we're going to ask is not important, and we want them to like us better. I mean, research shows it's very interesting when we feel that we are the less powerful person. And I won't give you the answer here, but I'll give you an open loop, a little teaser.
mhm,
There's a change in eye contact when I think you're more important than me versus I think I'm kind of the person coming in with some leverage. I have
mm,
a product or service that I know as a fact can change your business, can keep your business open with the new administration,
mm,
with what I know and with my product. So my level of eye contact changes when I'm listening versus when I'm talking. And if you can spot that, you can begin to look at people, and we'll talk about this at the keynote. You can begin to look at people and be like, oh, I have the upper hand here because this eye contact change just happened.
mm.
They know I have a good service. They know I have a good product. So now
Right.
let's go back to the words. Just is a minimizing word. Just left. Left equals strife. So I left my job. I left my ex-husband. I left. When someone says left, they're telling you there was strife there. So
Mm,
when I arrive at the restaurant and I say, I just left my house, I'm on my way, I'll get there 20 minutes early. Here's what you should do as an entrepreneur. One, give me a pass to get out of meeting you for lunch. You heard a just, you heard a left. Hey, Janine, I'm available Thursday and Friday if today doesn't work for you. And I'm here next Wednesday if that works for you, if you want to switch it up. I'm very
mm,
flexible. Oh my gosh, do you mind? That would be really great, Ethan. I kind of got a lot of stuff going on. Give them the out, because the last thing you want to do is anchor your service or your product
mm,
as an entrepreneur to someone who's having a day of strife.
mm.
Would you
Gotcha.
agree?
Okay, I
Does that
understand.
make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we don't want to anchor our success, our product, our amazing service to someone who's having a tough day. So you could either A, let them off the hook, or B, when I arrive, just say, hey, how's everything going?
Mhm.
Don't go right into your product, your service, slow it down, find out, get into the emotions a little bit. Maybe even if you're doing lunch, not pitching your product. Well, what's the product? We'll talk about it another time.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Get a few cocktails first.
Yeah, what's going on for you? What's
Yeah.
going on? So slow it
Okay.
down. So that's my first tip, paying attention to words. They do matter. So we've got 2 in there, Justin left.
Mhm.
My next tip is lip pursing. Pull
Mm.
your lips in for me, Ethan. Go like this.
Mm.
When we do this move, I say when we don't like what we see or hear, our lips disappear. And this right here is emotional control. So this lip purse is
Mm.
very interesting because it's not just a physical reaction. It is literally a reflection of what's happening inside my body and my brain. And the very, very interesting thing to me about this lip pursing is this is a primitive mechanism that is inside of us. And
Mm.
when we do this move, when we don't like what we see or hear, our lips disappear, our lips get really tight, you miss the lips. It decreases oxygen in our body a little
Mhm.
bit. And
Mhm.
what that does is it restricts airflow just a little, enough for my body and brain to say, oh, slow down. It's a signal, slow down, think things through carefully here. And it is a primal instinct inside of us. So if the client does this move and their lips disappear, I want you to think this is what's happening. The lips are the gatekeepers for our words.
Mm.
So if all of a sudden the lips disappear, there's either conflict here, or disapproval, or there's some type of emotional suppression. So
Mm.
what you want to do here is, I call it the MIW formula, and we'll talk about this at the event
Mhm.
and in my bonus session for people who VIP sign up, is you want to ask, maybe I'm wrong here. Hey, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong here, Ethan. It seems to me there's, something you want to process. Or maybe I'm wrong here. It seems like you have some questions you might want to ask. The other time lips disappear like this is when it's heated, when it's intense, right? We're like arguing, it's intense, and you see those lips disappear. It's connected to anger. In
Mm.
these moments, we want to remain calm, even if they're angry, and we want to ask something like, what's the most important thing for you in this situation right now?
Mhm.
What's the most important thing? So we're going to remain calm. And very, very powerful to spot that lip pursing. I show videos of it. I'll show people doing it.
Mhm.
And what happens? What were they talking about? This is happening because the prefrontal cortex, the higher thinking of our brain, which is
Mhm.
connected with decision making, is telling the amygdala part of our brain, which is that emotional center, hold it in, hold in your decision making,
Mhm.
hold on a little bit. And so there's a lot happening with the body and the brain, not just our lips disappear. There is a whole party happening. And once you can begin to understand it, you can approach it more effectively. I mean, we do want to approach things more effectively, I'm assuming. And
Right. No,
right.
this is great. I mean, just 5 minutes with you, and I've already learned so much. I'm a little conscious because I feel like my lips are dried. I've been licking them, so
Well, you got that nice big bright smile. I'm
uh,
loving it.
thank
You're making me
you.
want to whiten my teeth right now. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. The last tip is mirroring. We know about mirroring as entrepreneurs. That's nothing new. And I don't, I try my best to stay away from information that we already know, because this is 2025. I'm bringing the new body language. And I want to take it a little deeper. We've heard about mirroring. When we like somebody, we naturally mirror them. You yawn, I yawn. I'm going old school here today. My diet raspberry
Oh,
Snapple
okay.
from
Yeah.
like the 90s. I saw it at a store. Now I'm like addicted. This is like week 3 or 4 for me. I'm like, I need more diet Snapple. But what happens here is, with mirroring, I drink my iced tea, you drink your water or your coffee, and we both put them down at the same time. We all know that. What many of us don't know about mirroring, I'm going to talk about a couple things. One is, the official term for this is called the limbic resonance.
Mm.
And what happens here is the brain is saying, I feel you, like literally, I feel you when we mirror people. And intense conversations are very interesting. What happens in intense conversations, that research shows that our heartbeats begin to mirror one another. So when things are getting intense, any negotiation, intensity increases, heart rates now begin to mirror each other. As
Mhm.
an entrepreneur, it is critical that we slow down our tone, our pitch, and our own heart rate. We bring it down, because if we're getting pumped up and we're really excited and we're talking too fast, it makes us look like we have less executive presence, less powerful.
Mhm.
But when we're slow, we talk with authority, a deeper voice, we slow our heartbeat down, it's going to do the same for the person that we're talking with. It's
Mhm.
going to slow them down, because when we get excited, a friend of mine, his name's Chris Ulrich. He's in DC. He's a body language expert and teaches classes at the DC Improv and Improv.
Mhm.
And he was once held up by gunpoint in DC. He's walking with this pregnant friend. She's 9 months pregnant, like 8.5 months pregnant, ready to pop any day.
Yeah.
And these two young kids pop up and put a gun in his face.
Mm.
And the kid who's holding the gun, he's like 16, he's going like this.
Yeah.
He's shaking. The gun is shaking. Chris, because he teaches body language for a living and understands emotional intelligence, puts his hands up and he lowers his heart rate and he calmly says, "It's okay. Breathe. It's okay. Breathe. We're okay. Breathe." And if you were to meet Chris, he would tell you, "Hey, I don't know if I was saying it for me or if I was saying it for the
Yeah.
kid with the gun."
Right.
But what happened was the kid with the gun stopped shaking the gun. He got calm. Chris was alive. I will say the pregnant lady negotiated for her driver's license. She was, "Listen, I'm renting a moving truck tomorrow because I'm moving and I'm in charge of getting it. Can I just get my driver's license out of my purse?" Chris saw his friend like 6 months later. She now had the baby, and he sees her, and we'll call her Elizabeth, and says, "Elizabeth, next time we're held up by gunpoint, can you not negotiate for your driver's license? I'll go with you to the DMV. When the gun is in my face, can we not negotiate for the driver's license? I'd be more than happy to rent that for you." So
Right.
I share this with you because this limbic resonance, if we start to understand body language is really connected to the brain, it's not some tea leaf reading thing. The body is influencing the brain as much as the brain is influencing the body.
Mm.
And it is our emotions are being controlled by the limbic system, this emotional hub of our brain. And that's what, as you may know, builds trust and empathy and connection, all
Mhm.
without saying a word, is we have this mirroring. So understand, I think most entrepreneurs, I'm going to copy you. So you touch your glasses and I touch my glasses at the same time, or fix my earrings. I think what a lot of us don't consider as an entrepreneur is my normal behavior and how I'm feeling is going to be mirrored by the person I'm talking with. This is
Mm.
why men, when you ask for a raise or you ask for a day off, you go, "Hey, listen, I found out my family's coming for 4th of July. Can I take off 4th of July?" Your boss says, "Not a problem." Why? You went in confidently asking.
Mhm.
A lot of women, including women entrepreneurs, even though we're successful, we go in with a shoulder shrug. A shoulder shrug, which we'll talk about live at the event, is uncertainty. "Hey, I
Mm.
just signed up." Shoulder shrug, shoulder shrug. "My family's coming from Boston to DC. Can I take off
Mm.
4th of July?"
Yeah.
And your boss says, or whoever you're working with says, "Hey, why don't you get back to me in June?" And you're like, "Wait a minute, it's a double standard. You told Ethan he could have it off, and now you're telling me come back in June." That's on us because
Mhm.
we came in with uncertainty. So if you come in as an entrepreneur uncertain about listen, I charge $35,000 for a keynote presentation for an hour.
Mm.
That it is what it is, because I have 3 sons. I'm a single mom. I don't want to travel 5 times a month. I'd
Right.
rather do 3 events a month at way more money than doing a bunch of $10,000 events. But
Right.
if I ask you for my price with a shoulder shrug and I change my tone and it's 35,000 for an
Right.
hour, I know it's a lot. No, you've got to know your value. And when you confidently say something or confidently deliver it with your body language, you make the other person feel confident
Mhm.
because of mirror neurons.
Yeah.
So those are my
Yeah.
tips: the lip
Oh,
pursing, the just and the left,
great.
and then understanding this limbic resonance, this brain's way of saying, "I literally feel you," this subconscious syncing of our emotions and body language.
Wow. Are you guys hearing this? I mean, look at how much Janine has poured into us in these few minutes. If you don't have your ticket to Nerve yet, look, just imagine what you're going to be missing. I don't know. Are you speaking an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is? I just can't wait. I know you're going to pour out such tremendous value. And Janine, lastly, tell us what our VIP amped up ticket holders are going to get.
I'm really pumped about this VIP. I wish all my clients would do this VIP program. Listen, I investigated, I'm retired from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ATF.
Mm-hmm.
I investigated skinheads, Nazis, illegal manufacturing of firearms, including machine guns, the illegal manufacture of explosives and importation of explosives illegally. This is what I did for 17 and a half years, a little shy of 18 years. What you're doing as an entrepreneur, you may not be doing something just as dangerous, so you think, because it is just as dangerous. Because when you read people wrong, you leave money on the table and you waste time. When you read people right, verbally and non-verbally, when you know the real story, when you have that 9-second advantage, then guess what? This is where legacies are made. This is where entrepreneurs become millionaires and billionaires. And it seems like it happened with ease. No, you did the work. You had that 9-second advantage. So this VIP package working with me is once a month for 6 months. We come on for 30 minutes, me, and I think it's 30 people they're limiting it to. Okay. I already know before we even announced it, people were expressing interest because word was getting out. And you're with me live, and I'm going to do one body language and one word with hidden meaning, and we're going to go down deep. So we're going to go with depth. So by the time we hit the event, you are going to have so much stronger of a foundation than what everyone else is going to get in the couple hours that I'm there with them. So I hope that people will join and buy this VIP package. You'll join me live. I have a new podcast I just launched called In the Driver's Seat with Janine Driver. Oh, nice. Anyone who can't, afford to be part of this VIP package, you can listen to In the Driver's Seat, but you're not going to get these same techniques. These are exclusive for the people who are in this VIP program, and they're going to be tailored around you as the entrepreneur. I'm also going to have people send me questions each week, and you'll get, or each month, and you're going to get an assignment, a challenge that you'll do between the first month we work together and the next month. So you're going to have this body language mastering program along the way. And I literally am in the final stretch. I think I'm finishing it today, Ethan. I wrote a body language mastery workbook with this man, Chris Elric, I was telling you about earlier, had the gun held to him. We wrote a workbook together. It is a 30-day body language plan. And let me tell you, I've read all the body language books. I'm a New York Times bestseller. My body language book, You Say More Than You Think, is the only New York Times bestseller on body language. Nice. And my other book, You Can't Lie to Me, combined, they're translated in 18 languages. This workbook that we're about to launch, we're going to sell it on Amazon for a pretty penny. That workbook, there's nothing like it out there. I'm telling you, when Chris and I were putting it together, we were learning stuff. I was like, wow, now I really feel like an expert. I've learned so much doing this research. Everyone gets a copy of that book. So you get that workbook, that 30-day journal, and it's not 30 days in a row. It's 30 days when you might want to do 6 pages in one day. You're going to gobble it up. It's really great. We teach you a little fun fact. We give you an exercise. We even send you to YouTube to look at certain videos of people. And we say, look at time code 14 to 15.20. What do you see? And then bam, you see that micro expression of disgust. Or you notice that the two people are mirroring each other. Or you're noticing a shoulder shrug, which is uncertainty. And you're going to get that as part of the VIP portal, along with some other freebies, including how to get people to call you back, your guaranteed way to get people to call you back. And I got this from my literary agent, a guy named Dan Lazar. He gave me this tip a long time ago. It works 100% of the time. Every time I've used it, it works. And I'm excited. I put it together in a cool little funky, playful handout. I think it's like 4 pages long. I've given it to one of my clients, Jesse Itzler, if you know who Jesse is. Yeah. I've given it to his team over there. I coach Jesse Itzler. So just like what you're getting, except he paid me big thousands and thousands of dollars. So I coach Jesse same way. I give him a body language tip and a word that has a hidden meaning. And it was his idea to come up. He goes, Janine, how many words are there with hidden meaning? I go, there's a ton, but really there's 38 big words. 38 words with hidden meaning that'll change your life. He goes, that's a book. I go, want to write it with me? He goes, no, you write it. I'll buy it and tell everyone else to buy it. So that's why I'm writing the book, because Jesse told me to write it. So I'm really excited for the VIP people. You'll get to become my friend. I live here in Alexandria, Virginia. Anyone local, you can come over live when I'm doing it. If people are in this area, when I'm doing those 30-minute sessions, we'll grab lunch, breakfast, dinner, come hang out. I got an Airbnb downstairs. You're more welcome to stay there.
You hear that, EODC? Tune EODC, check in. Oh my
Yeah, come
goodness,
into
look at that
DC. Come on in. Live
invitation.
in the basement.
Yeah, EO's headquarters is in the Alexandria. So yeah,
All
we
right.
got a lot of people there to be
That's
taking
good
you
to
up
know. I
on
think
them.
the 30 packages are probably going to sell fast. So if
Oh
you want to work with me, if you want to have that edge in 2025, if you want to stop having those meetings where you walk out and you're like, I didn't see it coming. You're
yeah.
planning your trip to Aruba because you're thinking your company's going to get this huge contract with Comcast or whoever, and it falls through. We're going to eliminate those falling through unexpected moments because we're going to nip it in the bud with that 9 second advantage. So by the time we go into the actual event, all amped up, you're already going to have success. You're going to be the people that are going to get everyone pumped up to see my session because you're going to be like, holy crap, let me tell you how the techniques I'm learning are changing the way I write my emails, the way you're doing your podcast, or the way that you're talking in these meetings. We want to see hand gestures. Why do we want to see hand gestures? We're going to talk all about it and go down the rabbit hole. So come play with me. It's fun. It's
Cool.
playful. And it's just one body language move and one word with hidden meaning. I hope you're going to sign up, Ethan. If I don't see that big
Look,
smile,
I'm about to say
I'm
there are
not going to be
only
happy.
29 spots because I've already got mine. So the
Good, good.
rest of you 29, you're gonna have to fight for Janine's spot here. But yeah, I
Yes.
have my VIP ticket already, so I'm definitely gonna sign up for yours and
Thank you.
spend more
Thank
time.
you. Listen, my mother was a nurse for elderly homeless people. My dad fixed fire trucks for a living in Boston. I'm originally from Boston. I live in Alexandria, Virginia. And both my parents said we're the best version of ourselves when we're serving others. So
Mhm.
whoever's in this VIP session, you're going to be my forever friend. You get my cell phone. You get to text me 24 hours a day, personal or professional. You can send me screenshots. My client sent me this. What are your thoughts? Is there a hidden message here? I feel like there is, but I don't know what it is. You're going to have me on speed dial. It's not just those 30-minute sessions. Those 30 people get my cell phone. I might be sleeping when you write to me, but I'm going to get back to you the next day. And I'm really thrilled. I'm thrilled to listen. Choosing a keynote speaker to speak to entrepreneurs is a massive decision. That is a big responsibility. And I'm thrilled that EO has chosen me as one of your speakers. I'm pumped.
I'm pumped too. I'm amped up. Are you
I'm
amped
amped up.
up? All right, let's go. We will see you soon, Janine. Thank you so much. Guys, if you aren't signed up for EO Nerve, make sure you grab your ticket. And VIP ticket holders, make sure to sign up for Janine's offer. Thanks, Janine. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Ethan. See you soon. Bye, everybody. Happy New Year.